Here, does anybody like music at all? Passion for music? Well, it's good if you do, because I'll be talking about a song today. And if not, you're just going to have to listen to me say how music is pretty sharp. Thanks for laughing. There's this one song, lots of people are like, what's your favorite song? And I don't have one favorite song, but there is one that has just captured me, the lyrics from a young age. And it goes like this. We found love in a hopeless place. We found love in a hopeless place. And if you don't know that song, it's by Rihanna. It's not a Christian song, but just that one line just captures my heart. And I didn't learn till last night and to the early hours of this morning exactly what that song meant. So today I'm going to talk about what that hopeless place is in our lives and how we can find that love. The hopeless place in our lives is in this world. Our world tries to show a person's worth by their status, accomplishments, success, what college they go to, what degree they get, how much money they have, how much money they make, what house they live in, their beauty, how skinny they are, what clothes they wear, how athletic and fit they are, and the love of this world, which is lust and desire. Even I'm convicted of chasing every single one of these things in my life. But God shows us in 1 John 2:15-17, do not love this world, nor the things it offers you. For when you love the world, you do not have the love of the Father in you. For the world offers only a craving for physical pleasure, a craving for everything we see, and pride in our achievements and possessions. These are not from the Father, but are from this world. And this world is fading away, along with everything that people crave. But anyone who does the will of God lives forever. And this is basically just saying and reassuring that the world is hopeless, and we have to acknowledge that if we want to live for God. Not only that, but that it's everything in this world is fading. And that we, as much as we don't want to like any of these things, we're bound to like them because we're sinners. So even in us, we're a hopeless place in ourselves. But I'm here to tell you that we can find love. In 1 John 3, verse 16, this is how we know what love is. Jesus Christ laid down his life for us. So we try to find love, but actually we don't have to find love. Love found us. This kind of love frees us. It forgives us. It is giving. It's grace. And it's like the song Amazing Grace. I once was lost, but now I see. The love of this world, we talk about how it blinds us. But that's not God's love. In 1 Corinthians 13:4, verse 8-8, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It is not proud, it is not rude, it is not self-seeking. Someone needs to hear that. It is not self-seeking. I'm talking to myself too. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always preserves. Love never fails. Love is also a choice. And the love of this world is kind of deceiving because a lot of people talk about how love is a feeling. I even wondered what the definition of love is. And I Googled it, and the first thing that came up is love is an intense feeling of deep affection. But if love is truly a feeling, feelings come and go. And this is something temporary. And that means that love is fading and that it doesn't last forever. But then why do we see in movies like The Notebook and all of these other movies that love is super strong and that it lasts forever? Well, it does last forever. It says in 1 Corinthians 13, verse 13, and now these three last forever: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. And Jesus shows us the ultimate example of showing love and how it's a choice and not a feeling. He suffered, he was tempted, and he even told God in the garden, if there's any way for me not to die, make it be. He didn't feel like dying for us. He chose to die for us. And that is love. And even, I'm sure God didn't want to send his perfect son to die for us, but God chose to send his son for us. That is love. And this is the most amazing love story. Out of all the books we read, the songs we hear, and the movies we watch, this is the best love story. And if something else is greater in your life, and this is something I really struggled with, then that's not love. God's love is like a love story because he wrote us a lifelong love letter in this book that we get to read here on earth. And his love resembles a marriage. The engagement is kind of when we get to choose if we want to follow Christ. And the marriage is when we feel the love of God. But on our time here on earth, then temptation comes. And it tempts you to try and cheat on God. But we can love God because he first loved us and choose not to go into that temptation. In my life, I was always searching for love. I was actually always searching for love until yesterday. And throughout my whole life. For 19 years. My parents were divorced when I was 3, and it was a lot of back and forth fighting. My dad was out of my life for a lot of years. I had to move 8 times and switch schools. I lost a lot of friends, and I had to switch cheer teams time and time again. I felt so alone. And I searched for love. But the world told me that I needed a guy in my life. And in high school, I found a guy. But it wasn't a Christian guy. And it wasn't a Christian relationship that honored God. And it sucked me in, and I lost sight of who God was. And it was really hard for those 2 years. And then after, I finally found God again, but I was still searching. And storm after storm still came in my life. I got kicked out of my house. My best friend moved away. And I moved to college while me and my mom didn't get along. And she didn't get to come drive me down to college. And I came to college and I thought it was going to be okay. But storm after storm still came in my life. I didn't get on the college cheer team after 7 years of doing cheer. My car broke down 2 hours away from the school. I'm sorry, I can't read my paper. I got charged as a criminal for an act I did not commit. I got in a car accident. Family issues still emerged. Financial problems came about, and I almost had to drop out of spring semester. I had to drop out of my sorority. I started to have breathing issues with my lungs. Loneliness, depression, and an overload of stress started to consume my life. And on top of this all, I missed my home and church so much. I was hopeless. And up until yesterday, I was looking for love. And society tells me that I had to find a guy to have love, because that's what we see in movies, right? but that's not how you find love. And I found in 1 John 4:8 that God is love. It says those exact words, that God is love. And that there's no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear. I was always worried that I would end up in a really bad relationship. And as much as I didn't want to, that happened to me when I was in high school. And that was still a fear of mine until yesterday, or until this morning when God showed me what love is. And that when you decide to follow God, it changes you. But when you encounter the love of God, you'll never be the same. And I've had fear in my life for 19 years. And I can say that right now in my life, that every fear is gone because I found love. And that mine isn't the only story about love. There's Hagar in the wilderness. There's Jesus on the cross. There was this Samaritan woman by the well. And there's yours. God wants to show you his love and include you in the never-ending love story. But you have to go entirely to him in your hopeless place. Because God is love. Thank you.